Guess what today's theme is? Panda problems. How you doing, guys? Hey, I'm looking forward to today. I just got to be honest. I haven't felt very good. Like I'm going to cough something up. Excuse me. It's better. I think I cleared it. All right. Hey, you know what's better than a panda? Two pandas. All right. Haha, Mr. Douglas, you dork. All right. Hey, real quick. Today we're going to talk about ratios. Okay, I guess this is like a mirror reflection. Hold on a second. Let me fix it. Teachers can read upside down and backwards. I think I can figure out how to write backwards. Hey, you want to help me, little buddy? Sure. Okay, here we go. I think this works. It's better. Ratios, rates, and unit rate. We're going to lead in with that and finish the video today on proportions. We're going to do an IXL on unit rates and proportions today, but we'll start here. And I said at the beginning of the year, I'm always going to try to write unit rate with a 1 instead of an I, because that reminds me unit rate just means if they ever say find the unit rate, they want per one thing. So we'll do some examples on that. And drop pen. Okay. So let's take a look. You guys today, I'm going to share the screen, are going to be my panda pals. You're my panda pals. Except you're not really here. Love you, miss you guys. Gosh, dang it. Get right. Okay. That better? Yes. Love you, miss you. You guys are awesome. Hope you're doing well. So let's take a look. We're going to move on to the topic of the day as soon as we first do a panda joke. All right, so if you've never heard, pandas like to eat a lot, okay? Yeah, they do eat bamboo, but they like to eat a lot. And do you know what their favorite kind of pizza is? Think about it for a second. Okay, favorite kind of pizza? Pan. Duh. Oh, Mr. Douglas, you're such a dork. Get it? Panda, panda. All right. So let's get to the math, because the jokes aren't ever what they're cracked up to be with Mr. Douglas. Okay. So pandas are king of the bamboo forest. I'm going to write with text some information. We'll start with ratios. And usually with ratios, I like to always start talking about our class. Every class is different, but you have a ratio that you can compare two different things within the same unit of measurement. Or for example, in the classroom, we could compare the number of boys and the number of girls, okay? So there's two ways to do ratios. We can do part to part. That's like boys to girls right there. They're both parts of the whole overall classroom. And the other one is part to what class? Exactly, you guys are so smart. Part to whole, that would be like boys to the whole class. So if there was 12 boys and 18 girls, that's part to part. Or I could say 12 to 30, that's part to whole. 12 to the whole class, 12 to 30, okay? Okay, now there's three different ways to write a ratio. We could write boys to girls, the B and G is for boys and girls. So with just the word to, okay, that's how you say it, okay? But you could also do, let me see where my cursor, I can't see it because it's black screen, boys, colon, go down one, boys, colon, girls. And you don't say boys, colon, girls. You say boys to girls. You still say two, okay? And lastly, we can make a fraction, and you would still say two or over, boys to girls or boys over girls, because it's a fraction. If it was boys to the total, I could say boys out of, or I could say boys divided by, okay? Because a fraction is division, okay? Let me move this up. Get up. Oh, pandas don't want to follow orders. There we go. So ratios are fractions, and fractions are division. I said usually when we deal with fractions, or the ratios, we're gonna put them in fractions, because in math, you guys are math doctors because you perform operations. You perform math operations: addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. Okay, so that's how we're going to deal with ratios. Now, ratios also are a type of a rate. Okay, so I forgot which one we're on. Select. I think we are here now. Oh, he's so cute. Yep, he was next. Okay. Rates are comparing two different quantities of different units of measurement. You know, that always makes it sound so weird, but really it's like comparing two different things altogether, like points to games played. Oops. Or miles driven per hours driven. Okay. Typos. Who's typing? You're fired. All right. I still spelled it wrong. It's not that I spelled it wrong. I just don't know where I am. Okay. Okay, so for example, if somebody drove 120 miles in 2 hours, or if somebody scored 200 points in their 10-game season, those, I'm going to move this up, those are rates. And when they're in a word problem or whatever, we've called those a rate. If they're in the two numbers in the same sentence, they're in a relationship. A relationship. And then Jacob in one of my classes, block 3, jokingly said, hey, we should just call it a ratelationship. Yes, exactly. My favorite word of the year. Rates and proportions have been used throughout probably 75% of the year. It can be used in everything, simplifying fractions, all kinds of things. So it's a strong concept to understand. So we have a relationship between 120 and 2 hours. I can write that as a rate like that. Oops, 2 hours. And then I also had 200 points per 10 games. So those are really division problems. I can simplify those. So the first one would be 60 miles per hour. And I think you guys have seen speed limit signs before. You'll be driving before you know it, trust me. MPH is how they abbreviate miles per hour, okay? That is a unit. Look, I did it with a 1, all right. That's a unit rate, okay? All unit rate means is divide it and find out how much it is per one item. So 200 points in 10 games is really meaning 20 points per game. Okay, so that's his average, 20 points per game. Okay, so again, I'll just write the word one more time, unit rate. Okay, so I'm going to do a couple of examples and we'll do a couple IXL examples and we're out. Okay, let's clear the screen. Let's go to the next Panda friend. I can't remember where I left off. Hello. Hi. I love that new commercial. It's so annoying. I can't get it out of my head. Bye. Hi. Okay, was that for Cricket, I think? Cricket phones. All right, so let's do, there could also be a rate table. Okay, so if somebody said apple cost And then they said number of apples. Okay, so say there's 12 apples and it costs $6. Okay, and then let's say they wanted to know, they wanted to know how much would 36 apples cost. Okay, trying to make a table here. So you can just see that to get, I'm going to change to red, to get from 12 to 36, what happened? Oh, it's times 3, okay? So whatever you do to the bottom, you have to do to the top. It's a proportional relationship. So 6 times 3 will tell you that my answer is going to be 18, okay? And it's making a new text box all together. Select. $18. All right, there we go. Now, there's one other thing I want to show you is sometimes they will ask you for something that you may not think makes sense. What if they want to know how much 3 apples cost? Well, that's a little different. So I'm going to go to, let's make it yellow. Oh, dang it. I didn't mean to change the whole thing. I wanted to change the arrow. So how did I go from 6 to 3? Okay, well, they divided it in half. They want to know what this is, how much 6 apples cost, so 3 apples is going to be half of that. So then I go back to my text box, or select, I guess it is. Okay, and I'll go back to, since I'm in yellow now, half of that's going to be $6. Okay, now the last one I want to ask you is the unit rate. Oops, let's go back one right there. And so now, how do I get 1 apple? Okay. Oh, I did these backwards, cost and apples, didn't I? Okay. Well, whatever. So I had my words backwards. But so the relationship is if it costs $6, you're getting 12. If it costs 18, you're getting 36. If it costs $3, you're getting 6. What if it costs $1? How many will you get? You can see that you would get 2. Okay. So for $1, I'm getting 2 apples. Now, the only problem is, and I'm going to do this real quick, guys. Let's make this make a little more sense. I'm going to give it a title, apples, and it gives me enough room because I want 1 more column. So now my well, I was gonna try to do that. There we go. Okay, now I want to add 1 more column. What if on the bottom row they want to know how much 1 apple costs? This would be your unit rate. Okay. Well, if 2 apples cost $1, 1 apple, you say to yourself, how did I get from 2 to 1? Okay, you divided it in half. So what if I divide 1 in half? Okay, that's going to tell you your answer. And that's what you do in these relationships and proportions. You're just going to look for the pattern. Okay, so it's going to be 0.5, 50 cents actually. Okay, since in money we would write that 0. So I'll put it there, 50 cents for 1 apple, okay? Okay, sorry for all that, just to get to rate table. Let's go to the next one. Where were we? Hello, Mr. Panda. We're gonna do some IXL problems. Cute, let me show you most of the rest of my pandas and we'll do some IXLs. Aw, so cute. I'm not sure if that's an adult panda climbing a tree or a baby panda about to get slingshot. Okay, they're so cute when they're little, but now let's remember, no matter how cute they are, when they become adults, they are still a bear. They've got teeth and claws, so be careful. All right, and some know karate, so watch out. Let me move me out of the way here. And you know what? I missed one way back up in here. He was cute. There was a paintball panda. Oh, I missed paintball panda. There he is, paintball panda. He was one of my favorites that I found. And karate panda, you guys know him from the movies. Oh, I have two of him. And there's one more I'll say for last. Okay, so let's go take a look at our IXLs. We're going to do a couple quick questions and we're done, guys. So in IXL J5, it's called unit rates, okay? And here we basically are given a rate, 20 minutes for 4 songs to download, I don't know, okay? Or to play them, that's how long they are, I don't know. Okay, so they're in a sentence or a phrase together, so they're in a relationship. So I can make a rate out of them, 20 minutes over 4 songs. And they want to know how many minutes per one song. It doesn't have the number 1, but it's singular. So that's one song. Okay. So you got to say to yourself, how do I get from 4 songs to 1 song? Oh, that's easy. We just divided by, division is hard. It's hard to make the dots here. We just divided by 4, sir. And whatever you do to the top of a fraction or the bottom of the fraction, I'm sorry, you have to do to the top of the fraction. So the bottom we divided by 4, the top you're going to divide by 4. 20 divided by 4 is 5. So I'm going to go up here to mouse, click here, and my answer is 5. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, I got to hit submit. Sorry. The cool, and it's not submitting. Okay. So anyway, there's one example. And now let's take a look at a challenge level example. Clear all drawings. Okay. And this is legit. I skipped levels to show you how hard this IXL is. This is a challenge level, okay? Let me go back to my red writing hood. I'm in a hood. Okay, red writing utensil. I'm actually in the first problem that came up as a challenge problem for me. Maybe you'll get this one randomly. They're all random though, guys. Who knows if you're gonna get the same ones I got. Greg took a total of 16 quizzes over the course of 2 weeks. Now, guys, that's a relationship, okay? So I could write it 16, and then if I want to put a letter to represent the measurement, 16 quizzes in 2W, 2 weeks, okay? Now, that's going to be equivalent or proportional. Oh, no, I'm sorry. On this one, they're wanting me to find the unit rate. Undo, undo, okay? So after attending 10 weeks, oh, no, this is, yeah, the other ones at the beginning of this, as you go through each level, they're finding unit rates. But when you get to the challenge level, they're actually asking you to solve where you could make a proportion, okay? After attending 10 weeks. So you write 10W. And you just say to yourself, how, I want to change color, how did they get, sorry it's taking so long, guys, from 2 to 10? They did times 5. So whatever you do to one side, you do to the other. Now, you could do 16 times 5. Don't know it off the top of my head, but it's easy. 5 times things is easy. However, I do tell my class, anytime you see a fraction, you should always try to what? Simplify. It's a division problem. Before we do a lot of math and get some crazy answers, let's simplify first. 16 divided by 2. I can divide the top and bottom by 2. Okay? So now I have 8 on the top, 8 quizzes per 1 week. That's my unit rate. So now, how does 1 get to 10? Oh, times 10. So then on the top, you got to do the same thing. 8 times 10 is 80. Or if you did 5 times 16, you got the same thing. Okay, let's see if I can write it now. 80. I don't know if it's even going to let me submit. The last page did not, and it's not submitting. So that's fine. Okay, so next, let's take a look at unit rates. Select. I'm on this tab. Change the mouse. Now we're going to go to J12. Okay, it's loading. Cool. And it's going to solve proportions with word problems. It's the same thing as rates and unit rates, okay? But it can't be reached. I already have the challenge level problem loaded. This has been my problem all day. The internet has kept going on and off. So I will do one right here unless they get one loaded, okay? So for a unit rate word problem, you buy bag of candy. Oh, whoops, I'm in white. Ha ha. Hee hee. Okay. It's all caps like it's angry. You buy bag candy. Okay. And let's say it costs you $2. Well, $2 per bag. Okay. And each bag has, let's say, 10 candies inside. How much per candy? Okay. So let's see if I can do this with typing instead of writing. It takes too long. So $2 per bag, and there's 10 candies per bag. So it's $2 over 10 candies, okay? And what they're asking you is, how much does it cost per 1 candy? Okay? And I didn't label candies over here. So you can simplify 2 over 10 to 1 over 5. So on the next line, I set up a proportional relationship. I will take 2 and divide it by 2, that's 1. I will take 10 divided by 2, it's 5. So my proportional relationship is $1 for every 5 candies. But they want to know the unit rate of per 1 candy. So I have to do 1 divided by 5, okay? Now, sometimes the easy thing to do on that is just turn it into a percent, okay? And that gives me a decimal representation when you're gonna have less than 1, a fraction like this. But I could see when I had 2 over 10 that I could have changed 10 into 100 by times 10, and then I could go times 10 on the top and I get 20 over 100. So that is easier math for me to do. That is 0.20 cents, 0.2 as a decimal, or 20 hundredths, okay? Or that's also the same thing as 20 cents per candy, okay? Anyway, so that's how you're gonna solve proportions. Let's look at the challenge level of this. Oh, I gotta go to mouse. Challenge level question. And I will clear this. And we are done, guys. I got to show you one more picture at the end. Here's the challenge level question. And again, we started with rates and ratios, and we are finishing with proportion. Hold on a second. Help me out, little buddy. One more time. I got you, Mr. D. All right. So we're finishing with proportions, and all that is if you have 1/2, the equivalent rate is 1 over 100, 50 over 100. Panda, not all pandas are genius or anything. How do you write 50 backwards? Let me see if that worked. Nope, that's 05. We're getting there. We're getting there. All right. So there's a proportional relationship. You guys know this. So if somebody said that the word half to you, or that's a fraction of 1 over 2, it's the same thing as 50 over 100 or 1 million out of 2 million, etc. Okay? So a proportional relationship, you're going to maintain the same amount per the other. Okay? So if I'm twice as tall as you and you're 5 feet, then I'm 10 feet, so to speak. Okay? So if you had I would proportionally, we talked about in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory when they shrunk the boy, okay? And also the girl who ate the everlasting gobstopper and she started to taste everything like the grape the grape, and she blew up big and round, okay? When she blew up big and round, her body enlarged, but her hands and head did not. So that's not a proper proportional relationship. But when Mikey, I think his name was, when he was shrunk, his head wasn't too big for his body. His head was the same size to his arm as it was as regular Mikey versus mini Mikey, okay? So that's proportional. You're exactly blown up, like I used to compare it to a bike tire or a balloon. You blow it up really big, it's still the same balloon, or you let the air out and you simplify it and shrink it down, okay? That is a little bit about proportions. Okay, so here's a sample problem. And I was gonna say for fun, let's just change it to J's. Instead of Kira jarred, we're gonna say Jira jarred 9.2 Jeters instead of liters of jam after 5 J's, okay? That's fun. Excuse me, I have some papers blowing around. All right, so Jira jarred 9.2 Jeters of jam after 5 J's. How much jam did Jira jar if she spent 10 J's making jam? Jarring jam. We should have said jarring there. All right, so anyway, let's assume the relationship of proportionality. It's a proportional relationship. So you're going to write 9. I said right. And this honestly is the last thing we're doing, guys. 9. I'm on draw or on red. There it is. It just showed up late. Okay, 9.2, 9.2, and it's a rate relationship because 2 numbers in the same sentence. So I make a rate out of it. And I tell my class, just so we don't get confused and make any mistakes, let's put a letter to label it. That's going to be liters or Jeters. And this is going to be 5 days or J's. Okay. And they want to know, what about if they jammed for 10 days? I would love to jam for 10 days. All right. So then you're just going to say, how did you get from 5 to 10? Do you see a proportional relationship? If there isn't a pattern or a way to multiply or divide simply to get that, then you can cross multiply and divide, which you did in 4th and 5th grade, or you can divide this fraction and find the unit rate exactly and then multiply it by the 10. Fortunately for us, they were nice on the challenge level. 5 goes into 10 2 times. Whatever you do to the bottom or to one side, you have to do to the top or the other side. So 2 times that, we're going to get 18.4. All right. And why? How do I know the decimal goes there? Well, I did 9.2 times 2. There's only one decimal place, so the answer is only going to have one decimal place. So I will try to submit this, but it hasn't been working all day. I've had internet issues, so I could put 18.4 and try to hit submit. Terrific, we are genius. We have a score of 90 or higher. All right, guys, that's gonna be it. I thought it was gonna be a 15-minute video, and I'm still looking for a better writing way to be faster. I swear it's gonna be old-timey. I'm gonna be on a wall with anchor paper with the phone pointed at me like TikTok, and I'll just be writing. That's what's gonna end up happening. It's gonna be the most fluid thing. But anyway, good luck. Make sure you do your IXLs on a daily basis because we'll assign 1 or 2 each day. And they'll all be due at the end of the week before the test. All right, I'm gonna stop sharing. Oh, I said I had one last thing, one last panda picture, and my screen is froze. I had one last panda picture, but I'll use it next time. All right, guys, have a good one. Panda out.